Hey y'all, this is Amanda with She's a Mad Gardener. I'm out on the front porch today. I'm taking a little bit of break from the kiddos inside and the puppy dogs, and I thought I would do a video of the top 5 cut flowers that I like to grow from seed. Right now, direct sow is what works best for me. And you guys also know from my other videos that I love cut flowers. I love making designs with cut flowers, love bringing them to my house, love giving them as gifts, love the way they sway in the wind, just pretty much everything about them. And so I thought I would run down the list of my 5 favorite cut flowers to grow from seed. Okay, I'm gonna start with Cosmos. A lot of people have probably grown or tried out Cosmos before. I started growing it a couple of years ago. I typically grow a pretty wide variety of them, but I do prefer the seashell variety where the little petals curl into little shells. They're absolutely beautiful. Very delicate. I consider them a filler flower, meaning they're not the star of your arrangement. They're a little bit more subtle than that. Growing them from seeds pretty easy. I usually just rough up the soil, sprinkle out the seeds, rough up the soil a little more and water them in. Pretty much anytime you're direct sowing seeds into the ground, you want to make sure that you're keeping that soil moist. So a lot of times I'll look ahead on my weather forecast, and if I'm going to have a few days of rain back to back to back, a lot of times I'll go ahead and throw out some seeds during that time because I know it's going to take the pressure off me trying to keep them moist. You definitely don't want them to dry out. And so typically I'll do something along those lines just to make my life a little bit easier. But yeah, Cosmos, great cut flower. That's my number 1 so far. Okay, moving on to number 2, sunflowers. Sunflowers are super fun to grow in our area. I am in Texas 8A, and sunflowers, I can get sunflowers starting in July. I can have them in August, September, into October. October, they really start to kind of make their way down at that point, and then of course, as soon as we have any cooler weather, they're out the door. I've grown a variety of them, my favorite one being Italian white sunflowers. That's a branching sunflower. It has very, very delicate kind of lemony ice petals, which are beautiful, and a really dark, almost black center. They're very stark contrast, and they're very bold in an arrangement. The blooms are about maybe 4 inches in diameter. The beautiful, beautiful flower. I have also grown a lot of the pro cut flowers. I like them as well, but I like them in bunches. So if I'm going to use them in a flower arrangement, I want like 5 to 12 of them in a flower arrangement. The stems aren't very flexible, so they're a very hard, thick stem. But yeah, I enjoy using them, and they are tried and true. They grow like crazy, and they grow very, very well. I do like a lot of the kind of chocolate cherry sunflowers where they're a darker burgundy, almost brown tone around the petals, and then a dark center. There's a Chianti sunflower that's like that. Just love it to pieces. I do like growing both ends of the spectrum, a lighter version versus a darker version. All right, number 3 on my list are zinnias. If you are a gardener and you've grown any type of cut flower in the past, you know that zinnias are a tried and true cut flower bloom. They come in tons and tons of different colors and different varieties. Sit down here, please. Tons of different colors. Hey, how are you?
Hello.
Good. Lots of different colors, lots of different varieties. They can grow low to the ground and they can grow as tall as 5 and 6 feet. Zinnias, the more you cut on them, the more they're going to produce blooms. They do tend to pick up diseases such as powdery mildew, but that is easily treatable with kind of a soap water solution. Or if you're like me, I just don't stress about it. I like the powdery mildew to come and I just cut my blooms and strip off the leaves. I'm not growing my zinnias for the foliage, I'm growing them for the blooms. So I have no problem just pulling off those leaves and the zinnia looks fine. If you are looking for cut flowers with an extraordinarily long stem, zinnias are the way to go. If you're also starting a cut garden for the first time from seed, zinnias are a way to feel really, really good about what you accomplish. They're easy to grow, they take little maintenance, and they're fun and very rewarding in the end. Fourth on my list is Amaranth. And it's saying a lot that it made my list this year because this is actually the first year that I've grown it. I've worked with it many times in floral designs before, but actually growing it in my garden, this was a first. They were easy. Tossed down the seeds, watered them. They do need sun to germinate, so they're literally sitting on the surface of the dirt. I did learn from another gardener that earlier on you need to pinch amaranth back, and the more you pinch it and cut it, the more it's going to produce. And I did not know that, so I allowed my first stem, the first portion of its cycle, I allowed them to get almost 4 feet tall before I pinched them back for the first time. So that was quite the trial and error for that one. But once I pinched them back, it just exploded and started going like crazy. They typically will start coming in when we get the hot weather here in Texas, in July and August, but mine are still producing and we're mid-October right now. They are beautiful as a fall color. I think they look great in all my fall arrangements. I'm kind of excited to see if they'll dry well, so maybe I'll post a video on that if it works out good. You can get them in a wide variety of colors. This year I grew them in burgundy, but there is a coral variety that I hope to grow next year. Okay, and number 5, last on my list this year is Celosia. In the past, I've always purchased Celosia already growing in pots from a local nursery, and then I've planted them in the ground. This year, I decided I had a small packet of seeds, I tossed them out, and I'm talking they have tiny black little seeds. Tossed them out, and they just went bonkers. They've been super fun. Some of them have had like really crinkly tops. Some of them have been long and thin and feathery. They've just grown like crazy. And then once that first packet, I think I tossed them out in May, June? May, June?
Yeah.
Okay. Once that original batch came up, they began getting seeds on their longer stem portion of the flower head, and then the seeds started dropping. And once I realized that was happening, then I started scraping the seeds off and tossing them all over the garden. And I literally got hundreds and hundreds of blooms. It just went like crazy. So I ended up getting a couple of cycles out of the Celosia just by pulling the seeds off the current blooms and then tossing them back into my garden. They were very, very fun. I just grew the hot pink, the bright fuchsia tone this year. I hope to grow potentially a coral tone. I wouldn't mind an orange. I wouldn't mind a red. I'm going to explore that a little bit. And then I am interested in growing the Dracula version of Celosia. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed my top 5 this year. We'll run down the list one more time. Number 1 was Cosmos. Number 2 was Sunflowers. Number 3 was Zinnias. Number 4 was Amaranth. And number 5 was Celosia. And those are my top 5 cut flowers to grow from seed. I hope you guys will try at least one of these next season, and I hope that you get a lot of joy from all those cut flowers that you can bring in your home. Thanks so much.
We will see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Mommy, should I stop it?